I'm super excited to be here with you this morning, and it is honor and privilege, truly an honor and privilege to stand before you, to address you on a topic that is so near and dear to my heart, that is artificial intelligence. So imagine a world without scarcity of resources, where every human being on earth has access to basic needs, such as enough food, clean water, and shelter. Imagine a world where you don't need to do a mundane task. All the small work you need to do can be done by a robot or chatbot. And imagine a world where death is an option, where all terminal diseases are cured. Genetically disorder reversed, and aging also can be reversed. That's the world we are today. With the power of technology, you can improve food production. Today, we have startup cultivating steak meat from stem cell in lab. Don't be surprised, maybe when you are eating a steak, you are eating a steak from a lab that is grown from stem cell. And we have startup growing sea bass fillet also from stem cells in lab. And you can genetically modify your crops to increase productivity. We are also living in a world where our homes are powered with smart technology. You can interact with Siri, Alexa at home to switch on and off your light, to save your energy consumptions, and also to create intelligence about your home. The devices will know when you are at home to put on your cooling system, and when you are away to put it off. We are living in a world where last month, first xenotransplantation happened in the world, where a pig kidney was picked and genetically modified and transplanted on a human being. And the person has been discharged and living like a normal human being. And also, we are going to start producing organs using 3D printers, growing them from stem cell. So this is the world of today, and the future is more brighter. And all this was possible because of this powerful technology, artificial intelligence. And three things are inspiring us to do more about this technology. The world we are today is increasingly becoming connected. Everything you think of, you can connect to it. You can connect to your home, you can connect to your cars, your devices, your TV. You can connect to animals and human beings as well. Because we are already deploying human brain interface technology today, whereby you can just imagine things and it will happen. Instead of you talking to Alexa to put on your TV, We are going to whereby you can just think of your TV to be put on and it will just be on. Your brain will communicate direct with the TV. So that's the future we are going. And this future is not something, the best way to predict it is to create it. And all these technologies are available, are in use today, but just at the hand of the few people. What we want is how can we democratize it? How can we get common man on the street to have access to all these powerful technologies? But the only way we can do it is by understanding it, by applying it in our critical sectors, and also by developing it ourselves. Because every country today need to have digital dependency, and we need our digital sovereignty. We cannot depend on any country to come and build our digital offerings. So we need to build it ourselves. So our lecture today is to explore the impact of artificial intelligence, especially in the security sector and economic activities. My presentation will look at what is artificial intelligence itself. The word artificial intelligence was coined more than 50 years ago. And it is a quest to build machines that can reason, learn, and act intelligently. Before, it's only human beings that have these capabilities. But today, we have machines that can reason, that can learn, and that can act intelligently. We have machines that can see, that can feel, that can sense. They have all the 5 senses of living things. So we have all this on a machine. So to build artificial intelligence is to build machines that can do this. And it started about 50 years ago. And we have types of artificial intelligence, and we look at them from capability-based, what they can do, and the functionality-based. When you talk about capability-based artificial intelligence, we have 3 types of artificial intelligence. The first one is what we call a narrow intelligence. A narrow means the machine is intelligence in a specific task, and it can outperform human being in that task. That's where we are today. We have machines that can play chess better than human beings. We have machines that you can train on a medical field and perform better than human. We have machines you can train in the legal, in the other things, like for example, we have Gen AI, generative AI today, that can write better than our secretaries. So these are narrow intelligence. They can do only one thing because they have an algorithm built and perfect on that. Then the second one is what we call general intelligence. A general intelligence means the machine can think of doing something else. Like the difference between the artificial intelligence we have today and humans. We can think of creating algorithm that can do something in agri, do something in finance, do something in healthcare, education, and so on. But that algorithm can only do that things. And it cannot think Today I'm doing work in agriculture. Tomorrow I want to be doing something in education. So, but when we reach that stage, that's what we call general intelligence, where algorithm can decide on its own to create a new algorithm. Where a robot can decide on itself to create a new robot. Or where a robot can decide today to say, I'm not interested in doing a medical work. I want to do a legal work. Or I want to do military or intelligence work. So that's the general intelligence. And we are going towards that direction. Few months ago, or last year, there was this, someone resigned from Google saying that the Google chatbot has developed emotional intelligence, has emotion, that it can be happy, it can be angry, it can do things the same way humans do. And also, we are moving towards building algorithm that has the capability to learn new things. What we call reinforcement learning. That means today it knows something, but on its own it can learn new things. But the only difference, it cannot go beyond the foundational knowledge it has. For example, even the Gen AI we are talking about, ChatGPT, you can train it, you can give it data about your organization, and you can ask ChatGPT today to write a business proposal for you, to write a strategy for you, to draft policy for you, because it has that reinforcement learning capabilities. So the third one is super intelligence. That's when the artificial intelligence can outperform human beings in anything we do. And that's the fear of most of the founders of artificial intelligence. If you watch some of the fiction movies, you see talking about some people coming to colonize our world and so on, or for robotics to take over the world. So still there is debate about it. Some are saying it will be difficult to go out of control of humanity. Some are saying it is possible, but all depends on how we build it. It's the same way with the social media. When we started in early 2000, people were saying internet or social media is unregulated and governed where you cannot regulate it. But today, we are all saying we need to regulate social media. But the question is what is the best way to regulate it? And nobody has answer for that, because it's not something we can learn from previous law and psychology books. The generation before us never had this challenge to overcome. So it's something that we need to co-create ourselves to overcome it. So when you look at the functionality of artificial intelligence also, it has 4 types. The first one is what we call reactive intelligence or machines. That the algorithm reacts to anything you impute to it. It's what we call garbage in, garbage out. Like you can use computer to play games and so on. It reacts on your moves. So that's how artificial intelligence started years ago. because we've been playing games with computers many years ago. So behind it is artificial intelligence. Then we have what we call limited memory artificial intelligence. That means it can keep knowledge and use it to make decisions. Like ChatGPT, you can train it and it can use that knowledge to make decisions. Like autonomous vehicles, you can send drones, it knows where it is going, it knows the task you want it to perform. So it can use that knowledge to make decisions about whatever task it is performing. Then we have the theory of mind artificial intelligence, where the artificial intelligence trying to understand how our brains work. You know, still scientists are struggling to understand the science behind brain. Brain is the most powerful machine on earth till date. So the artificial intelligence is trying to crack the coding behind the brain, to think like the brain. That's when it achieves that, it can become general artificial intelligence. That means it can think like humans. Still, artificial intelligence today can outperform humans in other things, but in other aspects, it cannot. So, but by the time it understands the mind theory, it can achieve that. Then the last one is self-aware. For the AI, the artificial intelligence, to know itself. And that's where the danger we are afraid of. Because when it is aware, when it knows itself, it can decide on what it can do, and maybe it can stop obeying commands from humans, so it will go out of control. So, but still there is research on how can we still make it, even when it is self-aware, to serve humanity, not go against humanity. So that's the types of artificial intelligence. And to develop it, we need to have principles, because if you leave it the same way we did with social media, it can go out of control. Like today in social media, we have what we call black box, that nobody understands how some decisions are made, because the algorithm is created maybe to, for example, there is this what they call surveillance capitalism. The algorithm about social media, it is about getting people to use the system. How can we get people to use it? You need to understand them, you need to influence them, and you need to get them to do things without them knowing that they do it. That's what the social media is doing. Today, the social media decide what you see, what you can buy, who you can friend, what you believe, and so on. We have seen during the US 2016 election how information was used to change voters' decision on who to vote. So the social media is a very powerful tool that can manipulate us, that can change our perception about the world. You and I can log into social media, we'll see different information, because the algorithm try to understand us and personalize everything for us. You view only what you are interested in. If today you spend time on a content, tomorrow you see similar content for you. If you don't spend time on it, you won't see it. And to the extent that some of the devices are listening to us and bringing advert to us. I will never forget, there was a time I was on call with someone. The person just mentioned UBA. After dropping the call, then Truecaller just prompt UBA advert to me. That means someone is listening to that. And also, I just want you to think of something and just Google that thing. Maybe within few hours, if you check your social media, you see advert about that thing you Google. So they collect information about us and try to influence us using this artificial intelligence. So as we develop and build more capabilities for artificial intelligence, it's good we have some principles so that that technology will be under our controls. So OECD drafted principles for countries to adopt around the world. They have what they call value-based principles and recommendation for policy makers. So the principles is they want the technology to be inclusive, because we have seen artificial intelligence becoming gender biased, becoming racist, and so on. We are building systems that can make decisions on who gets what, under what condition. So that system must be inclusive, because if your data is digitally invisible, the system might not consider you while making decisions. We have seen a system, a facial recognition system, doing criminal profiling, where it assumes every black person is a criminal until proven otherwise. Because the ground truth data used to build that system was from a community where most of the criminals are black. So to address that, we need to be inclusive in everything we do, because artificial intelligence systems are not just a system where you can have a software engineer in a cubicle to develop it. While developing it, you need to bring everybody on board. For example, you are developing a system for policing. You need people that understand the policing, the civic laws, and so on, to be part of it. If you are developing a system that will, for example, give information about who needs social interventions. So that system also needs to understand the community and the needs of the society to develop that system. The second one, the system must be human-centered. We should not develop a system that will go against humanity. And transparency and explainability. We need to be transparent in everything the system does, and also we need to understand the decision process. We don't want a system like social media where it will make decision, no one understands the reason that decision are made. Because in social media today, mostly anything that is bad, it goes viral. But anything that is good, it doesn't go viral. Why? Nobody can explain. Because the algorithm was developed to get more viewers, more users, and so on. And from the nature of us, people try to listen to negative things or things that are new. We don't look at the positive things. We assume that is given. That's the ideal things to happen. But when it is a bad news, everyone will rush to read it. So we need a system that is robust, secure, and safe for everyone to use. And also accountability. The system developers must be accountable for it. We don't want to develop a system that will go and kill someone and nobody is accountable. We will say it is a system. No. Any law, any law that is applicable offline must be applicable online as well. So the people that develop that system must be accountable for everything. The recommendation is investment in AI research and development, because there is rest about AI leadership, global race. Everyone wants to be a leader. And whoever leads in AI will rule the world, because you have the power to influence everything, to manipulate whoever you want to manipulate, and you have the power to deploy things and democratize access to technology and everything. And also, we need to foster ecosystem. We need to work collaboratively, because working in silos with AI will not be good for us. So we need to work as an ecosystem to create whatever we want to do, because the best solutions always emerge from collaborative efforts, where you can harness diverse expertise, insights, and perspectives. Then also, we need to shape the enabling environments. We should not keep saying you cannot regulate technology. We regulate almost everything. The water we drink, the food we eat, everything is regulated. So why are we saying we cannot regulate technology? So we need to change that mindset to ensure that everything we do is regulated. And also we need to build capacity. Everybody needs to know how to use AI to a certain level to augment your productivity at work, and also to help you for mundane tasks at home. And also, we need to have international cooperation. We cannot build AI systems in isolation, because if you build a system in Nigeria, you should make it to be a system that can serve Africa and the world. Likewise, if system is built anywhere in the world, you can bring it to Africa and Nigeria and use it without any bias. So we also look at the AI application in the area of security, because our lecture will look at the security and economy. How can you use AI to improve national security and our economy in general? So you can use AI in many areas when it comes to security. You can use it in intrusion detection and prevention, physical security enhancement. You can use it to improve security operation. You can use it to address cyber threat. You can use it to address vulnerability in system. You can use it for behavioral analytics. You can use it for predictive policing. Because AI has a lot of data, and it can use it to triangulate everything and help you to make informed decisions. In the beginning, I said the world we are is increasingly connected, and our systems are becoming increasingly capable, and the society is increasingly quantified. Everything you do today is captured, processed, and stored. So anything you want to know, you will know it. If someone has access to your mobile phone, the person will know you maybe more than the way you can explain yourself. Because your mobile phone has information, all information about you. It knows when you go to bed, it knows when you wake up, it knows what you read, it knows who you communicate with, what you say, it knows where you spend your time, it knows the road you take to the office, it knows what you buy online, it knows the balance in our account, it knows what you watch online, it knows the news, everything about you. So if someone can have access to that data, the person can know everything about you. So that information is available. And also we have like the telecommunication, big data also is available. For example, now, our mobile phones knows all the people in this room. If I have access to your number, I will know everybody in this room because our mobile phones are all connected to a mobile phone towers, which will register every phone as a unique identifier. And you can link it to the owner. You can know the person he spent times with. So you can use all this to predict a lot of things when it comes to national security. So most of the time is trying to triangulate the data and make sense out of it. That's where we are having challenge. And we have all these tools available. Is how we can use them and the better way to use it that we need to explore. Then we'll look at AI applications in counter-terrorism as well. Many countries are using it for a lot of things in terms of predictive analytics for terrorist activities. Most of the things, it happens online. They communicate, they have like platforms they communicate. Like always, US intelligence used to say that they know about every attack on Earth because they use all this information to gather and know what is happening, so you can predict it as well. You can also have automated content moderation and takedown. For example, NSAS started on social media. If we have all these tools, we can predict about it, we can take it down on time without transcending to the physical world. But sometimes we'll say this is just social media, leave it. But it's very good always to have the sentiment analysis on the social media, because we live in a world whereby things will happen in the next door, but maybe you will know about it on the social media. Because sometimes we communicate with our devices more than the way we communicate with our friends and family. Because we see it, you will be on a dining table with your family, everybody will be on phones, chatting. We can also use it in terms of trying to track them, get the narrative, even change the narrative about it. Like during ISIS, YouTube has helped a lot in terms of taking down content that they use to recruit their members, as well as putting content that will distort the narrative. So all this is possible with technology and AI in particular. And you can easily identify red flags and the radicalization ideas around. So you can use the tools to do a lot when it comes to counter-terrorism as well. So, but with every technology, we used to say, is a double-edged sword. You can use it as a weapon or as a tool. And it has its own promises and perils. So it is for us to try and harness those promises while avoiding the perils. So there are concerns about using the AI for security as well. There are privacy violation concerns, but we know everywhere in the world it is allowed sometimes to get information for national security. Because we've been seeing a lot of what the CIA is doing in terms of getting information about people and so on. And even in Nigeria, the Nigerian law allows to get all this information for national security. So sometimes we need to look at the demarcation between security and privacy violation. Then also we need to be careful about algorithmic bias. The algorithm can be biased. Like some years back, Amazon was using AI system for recruitment. And the system was built based on the data within the organization. They looked at high performing staff and their qualities. And mostly tech is male dominated. So based on the data available to the system, most of the high performing staff are male. The system thinks that for you to be a high performer, you must be a man. And it decided any CV with anything female, it rejects the CV. So you can see a bias here. So the algorithm, we need to be careful even when using it for security purpose, because we are going towards having autonomous weapons whereby AI can decide where to strike and who to strike. So if it is a bias, it can be more dangerous than even nuclear weapons. Then the autonomous weapons as well, that's when the AI can decide the command center is controlled by AI. So if you don't have a right data to build that system, it will be disastrous to the humanity. Then also human rights concerns are very key, because machines, algorithms, they are systematic in their decision making. Their thinking is more mechanical than human-centric. There is a system developed in Australia. They have this pensioners system whereby sometimes they use to overpay people. So they built an AI system whereby if you are overpaid, the system will just send and automatically deduct your account. So within 2 years, the system was able to save over $6 billion US. But it led to some death, suicide death, because some people were wrongly deducted. Because all these systems are built to optimize outcome of savings. So it doesn't have the emotional feelings. Maybe the calculation might be wrong somewhere, or maybe what do you call it? Sometimes, the old people or someone that cannot work gets some benefit there. They pay because he cannot work because of disability or old age or something. But the system doesn't know all that. So at the end, they have to stop using it because the damage it is causing is more than the good. Because it was not designed to look at all that human emotion. Why is someone overpaid? Or why is someone medical bill is higher than this one? because maybe someone has a bigger family, his benefits should be bigger than someone that is or that has no family. So we need to develop systems that can consider all this, as well as the human rights. That means the system need to understand the local laws and regulations when it comes to decision making, because the system will decide who get what under what conditions. So it needs to understand all the human rights, it needs to understand the laws and so on. And also, we need to have a system that understands context and emotional situations, because algorithm doesn't understand all this. So it is a concern when it comes to security, when you can have autonomous weapons shooting women and children or unarmed people. So we need to build system with all this in mind when it comes to building system in the security sector. And also we need to look at the ethical and privacy consideration. Like we talked about transparency, we need to ensure the system is transparent and the decision is explainable. We don't want a system that can make a decision, no one understands the rationale behind that decision. And we need to have a bias mitigation mechanism in place. A system that will be unbiased when it comes to making decisions, whether criminal profiling, whether counter-terrorism, or even in a war field. So we need to look at all this. And data privacy also is very important. Someone can, if it is exposed, maybe someone can use it just for personal grudges against someone. So we need to make sure any system we use in the security sector, it is transparent, no bias, and privacy issues are addressed. So to address most of this challenge, in February 2023, there was a political declaration on responsible...
19 minutes.
Sorry?
19 minutes.
90 minutes. So 19, okay, thank you. There was a declaration on responsible use of AI in military in The Hague, Netherlands, where most of the world powers gathered for a summit, and they have agreed to come up with a guidelines for ethical application of AI in military operations. And also it emphasizes on compliance with international laws, human control over AI system, transparency and accountability for every system. More than 54 countries have signed to that declaration so far. So the declaration looks at auditability of the system, explicit and well-defined uses, rigorous testing and evaluation before using the system, detection of unintended behaviors, and also review of high-level consequences of application of that system. Because sometimes you can have system developed and simulated in a lab, but when you bring it to the real world, the impact will totally be different. So it's always good to ensure that and look at the consequences. And also we need to look at the consistency with international legal obligations when it comes to the use of the system, and also promotion of responsible behaviors. So that's are the things we need to take into consideration while building AI for security. Then for the economies, according to World Economic Forum, AI will add 15.7 trillion US dollars to the global GDP by 2030. So AI is a general purpose technology. It's a technology that can be applied across all vertical economic sectors. So technology itself today, it is not a sector, but it is an enabler or a source of inspiration you can use to improve productivity across all sectors. So Gen AI alone, according to McKinsey, will add between 2.6 to 4.4 trillion US dollars annually to the global GDP. So there is huge potentials for any country in the world to be part of it. Like Africa and Nigeria, we have competitive advantage when it comes to the usage of emerging technologies because we have so many problems that need innovative solutions. And also we don't have legacy infrastructure. That's why when mobile technology came to Africa, Africa was the fastest growing market for mobile technology. There was a research saying that in 2000, there were more landlines in Manhattan than the whole African continent. But in 2010, there were more mobile phones in Africa than the whole American continent. So you can see how we leapfrogged using mobile technology. And it created so many markets for us and values. Without internet today, we can say banking sector is nothing. Most of us today, we don't go to bank. We use technology, our mobile phones to bank. And so many things we use it for. And also in terms of job creation, there are many research saying that technology will displace jobs. But in Africa, we strongly believe that technology and AI in particular, it will create more jobs than displacements. Because we have young population, we can position ourselves to be the place for AI model training. Because we need to train all the models we are building. So we have youths in Nigeria and Africa that we can train to provide that services to the world. And also, these roles are expected to grow within AI. So if you are looking for a career in AI, you can look at the artificial intelligence itself and machine learning. It is projected to grow by 40% between 2023 to 2027. Data scientists also is expected to grow between 30% to 35%. And natural language processing also will grow from 5% in 2023 to 19% this year. So there is a huge market for all this. We can create more jobs in Africa using AI. Then what do we do at NITDA to ensure that we place Nigeria in a better position to capture value from AI? Our vision for Nigeria is digitally empowered nation, fostering inclusive economic growth through technological innovation. So looking at AI as a general purpose technology that you can apply in all sectors, we started coming up with initiatives. In 2020, we established the National Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, which is the first of its kind in Africa. The center was designed to train Nigerians on AI and robotics. We have the digital fabrication lab there. We have maker spaces where you can come and create your robotics, drones, and so on. Already we have startups. We are working, creating drones that we can use in agriculture, as well as we are open to collaborating with security agencies to create drones you can use for security purposes in our country. So we also issued AI research grant last year. We launched a research grant. We already have 45 researchers working with us, building solutions on 45 different use cases across industries in the healthcare, agri, security, education, and so on. We are also building talent. We conducted a skills gap assessment in 2022, and we have identified 12 skills in high demand locally and globally. And we designed 3 million tech talent initiatives to train 3 million Nigerians on different tech talents in high demand, including AI. According to Conferry, by 2030, there will be 85 million talent deficit globally. And if left unaddressed, that could result to $8.5 trillion in unrealized annual value. So we believe Nigeria, we can position ourselves to become the global talent net exporter. And PwC also did a research to validate our thoughts around this. The research is called Nigerian Brain Export, the optimal path to developing Nigerian economy. They talked about that Nigeria, we are naturally talented. We have proven that in the area of sports, music industry, and film making. And we can do that in the IT as well. Based on the research, they said globally, there are more than 4 million vacancies for programming today. And Nigeria can conveniently train between 1.5 million to 2 million Nigerians and place them to work remotely and bridge that global talent deficit. Using that, they say that averagely a programmer earns between $30,000 to $150,000 annually. And let's say because they are Nigerian working remotely, they can earn only $25,000 per annum. If you have between 1.5 million to 2 million Nigerians working remotely, we can earn more than $50 billion annually. This can address some of our forex challenge because none of our source of revenues generate that $50 billion annually. So we do a lot in terms of the talent building and also international collaboration. We are part of Bletchley Declaration, where it talk about cybersecurity and AI. Last year, early this year in February in London. Nigeria is the only African country that is part of that declaration. And also, we have a special focus on AI building, startup building AI solutions. We help them with incubation, funding, and connecting them with the ecosystem. Then We launched, last year we had the AI strategy, co-creation strategy, where we brought 120 experts to co-create Nigerian AI strategy. We have about 40 that came from diaspora, from all the continents, from America, Middle East, Europe, Asia, Nigerians, expert in AI, working there. We brought them. They spent a week here in Nigeria to co-create the strategy, to ensure that the strategy is inclusive and also reflects our national consensus. We also launched the Nigerian AI Collective, a forum where we want to bring AI enthusiastic and advocates for using AI across different sectors. We also launched the Nigerian AI computing infrastructure, where we signed a deal between Galaxy Backbone and 21st Century to build 100 GPU computing power. And also we are conversing with other stakeholders like NISS also. We want to sign a deal with them to build about 12,000 GPUs so that we can have the computing power locally to build our AI. We also signed a deal to build the Nigerian multilingual large language model, to have something like ChatGPT using Nigerian languages, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, and maybe Pidgin, so that our local people can also benefit from this technology. Then we also signed a deal with Cisco to remodel the National Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, to create a world-class AI research lab and connect it with the Galaxy Backbone and other nodal infrastructure we are going to build around the country. So in conclusion, AI has a transformational power, but it is not without limits. Our strategy as a nation has a clear vision to harness the power of artificial intelligence to address the most pressing challenges we have as a country and achieve sustainable development within our country while avoiding its perils. So like I said earlier, every technology can be a weapon or a tool. It depends on how we take it and use it. Thank you for your attention. So,